Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. We're once again continuing along with probably the last round of HXY mission. So where it left off, basically all of the hair is now moving in corners, and it was basically just parts of the visor and the actual... Actually no, wait. It was the visor and the ears that had the motion left to go, but I've actually taken time to get the ears into at least somewhat sensible motion that will hopefully not be overly noticeable for the imperfections it has when it is in motion, because honestly anything beyond that we really don't care about, because in the end they're fast motions that I should really looking at it shouldn't be overly noticeable. At least in the current stage it is not particularly noticeable, even though there are obvious imperfections when the ear roll... Okay, the way I've done it, the ear doesn't even roll around the head anymore. That's fine. But for the most part, there's only about like 2 parts left, I think, because I already did... mess around with the head motions of the visor, but they're gonna be redone. That's... just have this very fast judgment. This needs to go way more down this way. And this thing is going over the top of the head. Alright, you. I really can't do much more about this, can I? Doesn't really matter if I clean up the lines or not. Or shouldn't anyway, seeing as there's something directly covering this piece. But we should end up with a portion here. This has to swing back around this way a little bit as we turn the head back towards the camera a little bit. I want to bring this out a little bit more. We should be seeing a fair amount of the flat side on some of these parts. I should probably make the just straight down flatter than it currently is. Try and flatten it as much as possible. And then we grab you, not you. Where's the back piece of this? Bring you out, and we're just gonna slide you in underneath that. Like so. Okay, so when this occurs, we are lifting a little bit. Actually, this is now about right for the adjustments. Let's just see how this feels once it's in place. just like wiggle that a little bit across? I think I can do. And you? Because this piece is still supposed to be cupping over the head. That can actually go out, bringing it over pretty much at all. As long as this is leaning kind of aggressively. And the head's roundness should be like out here. Ah. Hold up. Like looking again at the side hair there. Oh, that's a little one. I think you do. I need to bring it more around the head. Can I make this look like it's cupping around the head a little bit more? Oh, that's is leaning. Oh wait, the problem is actually further down. It'll be. Oh, end up what, like around here. What's this curve here? Where'd that come from? But, sort of like that for now. I think I need to actually bring this more. I think this more downwards. Hook it onto the end like so, and we'll just dump that a little bit in. No, we're turning it a little bit in, so honestly, if I kind of like it, a little bit more. Ideally, actually just bring this. I guess that works. And I get, where is it? You to more aggressively lean this way back into the head. That feels better. Okay, then, not you. You need to be just like in here, doing something along the lines of. Oh. Ah! Alright. Apologize for the up. That was also very loud in my ear. Roll you into like here. Can I actually squash you? But I have a good way of squashing you a bit more. Yeah, we'll just roll you in like that. Bum. Okay, so this part I haven't. I've only done this. Moves around. Alert. Oh. There's a back piece here. Are you moving? You are moving into position. You're doing some real funky stuff when this occurs. Okay, let me just take a look at this. Just gonna not pull your bar. Just gonna keep most of the way this way. Give that just helps it not pull quite as quickly around the head where it's not needed to pull around the head that quickly. Mask. You. Okay, very good. Okay, so this top part cups over the head, so you just need to kind of go over the top, wrap it all the way around the head. Oh, you. Neither of you don't move. Relation here. This piece is leaning significantly than anything else. Where is you? Bum, 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 bum. Actually stretch out a little bit further this way because this is going around the head entirely. And we're leaning this way. This is actually going to lean less than the other. Or let's just patch this. Okay. Bring you out a little bit this way. We'll just get you to patch that by lifting there. Just squash this down a little bit as well. Too much? A little bit. About a little bit too much. Alright, 1, 2, 3, you into here. You. I need you to go like you pull in. Possible for me to do all these at the same time? Probably not, right? I could probably do you and you at the same time, realistically speaking, because basically the same piece. Yeah, pull in side a little bit more ideally. It will just get you to match. Like so. Okay. Hold this down a little bit. Just a tad. Hello there. How are you doing today? You need to sit right about there. Not too many things of particular note. The last month has just been me losing my mind to well, at least the last week has been me losing my mind to some oversights a little bit in the design of this model. Or at least the way I set it up, that I didn't really foresee. Definitely had some complications in that. Otherwise, only other thing that's really changed about my usual routine throughout these days is I bought Enzoy, and I am very addicted. That's definitely been a problem with productivity when I have free time. I want to bring that down a bit as the cup's around the head. Just moving a little tad away from the camera. Indeed. Man. How do I feel about this spot? Does the game have genuine Italian mafia accents, or is it mildly racist mafia accents? As much as that also has its own charm of its done in a more, was it the satiric when you want to describe something as satire? That's not a word I use in everyday conversations. I don't know how I feel about this piece in particular. Don't do that. Lift you and pull you just a tad. And the biggest news recently with voices in games, I guess, would be was the whole debacle over the voice actor stuff happening with was it the Ancient Impact thing that I've like very vaguely followed. Otherwise, it's just the horrific voice acting in was it Assassin's Creed Shadows English dub? I only know that kind of, was it gangster accent? It's like, was it Italian mobster accent from like pop culture? Given that I am not American, I have not been to America. I know anyone from New York. I think all the people I know are like in Calif. Well, like the people I've actually spoken to has been like, what, California? Was the crew the one that they turned the servers off and you can't play single player? Was that the one that had the giant debacle? I know that was the where they one of the holy words. One of the games where there was a big mess over you have to get used to not actually owning your games. Spiel from the big executives at the top who just want your money. I just remember it was like some kind of car game. Like I remember it was racing or just like cruising. Yeah, that definitely made the rounds in the discussions. Let's just live with that for a bit. Alright. Turn this down. What do we want to do with this now? Otherwise, I just have like the general gaming news. For me, there's a lot of Monster Hunter and a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! All the fun pop culture stuff I've really partaken in since I don't have the patience to sit through a whole movie, so I haven't watched the Minecraft movie, I've just heard people talk about it. Indeed. I mean, this general design with the hair covering one eye is something I've rolled with for a while now. It's the very lazy way of adding some very quick asymmetry to the face without much effort. Some very obvious asymmetry to the face, face area when looking at it. Wow, ooh. Why you like that? Up. Really should have cleaned up the lines underneath here, I knew this piece was going to be covered. How far out should it actually jut? Maybe bring out a little bit more than that. Let this jut out a fair amount. We're turning the head slightly back towards the camera. And the whole thing and just shift it down. A little too aggressive. And I'm looking at the shape again, that looks insane. Bring that down. That transition is... That is what Transformers, right? I admittedly was not much of a robots kid growing up. I partook in a little bit, or like any kind of vehicle thing. Actually, what was the vehicle thing I liked as a kid? I had a whole set of almost a tank engine. I think that's the closest I got to any kind of vehicular IP as a kid. Like, the main thing I know about Transformers is honestly the general joke of when someone's voice starts like buzzing out in voice chat because the internet connection is failing, to ask them for a Autobots rollout. The old Thomas. Let's pull it back a little, maybe. I'll pull that back. The glorious trains with faces that apparently there's an episode where one of the trains actually die or something. Or I don't know if that got erased from the airwaves and never got to see the light of day until like years later or something. But supposedly that was, at least that was something I heard. It was like there was actually an episode where a train dies or something. Oh, that's... do I bring this part down? I wanted us to like cut over the head, but it looks really weird if the part doesn't shift over because it's technically rolling over the head. What can I do about it? No idea. I just have a vague memory of seeing a bunch of like screenshots, and from the looks of it, at least from what I understood, was that it was basically nightmare fuel for kids because the train's face, I think, was like practically rusted off or something. But you know, whenever you see those the mini Thomas the Tank Engine creepypasta horror games that get spat out by people doing asset flips on game engines, that might actually be the inspiration. I say that like there's a lot of them, but I just have a very vague memory of Markiplier playing one at one point. Hmm. We'll just set this like that for now. Yeah, I feel better after a while. With the number of weird old school IP themed horror games that just get spat out especially seeing as was it the moment Steamboat Willie entered the public domain. I think there was like a asset flip horror game made for it within like 24 hours. That's fine. I feel like okay with mascot horror games. It depends on like what kind of mascot ones, where it's just like a game themed around an IP, or it's more of the FNAF like animatronic style. There's a lot of asset flips end up being just like cheap jump scare machines. Which generally I'm not particularly big fan of. As much as I've probably never played them, given that I don't have a proper scare reaction. But then I'm not really a big horror game player in general. Usually I watch people play horror games. I could still have like more of a psychological horror one. I mean, I guess like a more story-based one is more like a drama than a horror a lot of the time, because it's more like the story playing on your fears or your perceptions instead of something directly haunting you effectively. I think like one of the more basic horror themed games that I feel like I should play at some point is Corpse Party. But that is very much a story oriented psychological horror. At least one that I probably won't get unreasonably pissed off at, because that's the thing with survival horror or things like Outlast, is that I'm fully aware I'm not that good at games, and I will get immensely pissed off if I fail at a point and have to redo it. Because in a horror game, or especially in a survival horror game, you have to be a weak civilian with no way to defend yourself, so that it's a real run for your life moment every time something happens. Oh, where is this piece? You. We're just gonna slide you in back so you're not sticking out. You know, I do enjoy the best of the creating a very long overarching story behind your horror game thing that all the indie horror games are doing nowadays. With FNAF, and then Poppy Playtime and Garden of Ban. I think there was one more. But you can't, apparently you can't start a long, winded indie horror franchise now without killing off some children. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but seeing as there's so many videos on YouTube talking about those games, I presume I'm allowed to say that. Was Hello Neighbor really much of a horror game? It was like a game that had way too much. I feel like they tried too hard to hide a bunch of lore in the game or something after a while. I know that was a big complaint. It was like, it felt like the developer bought, like, they made a good and interesting game to begin with when it was in early access, and then it felt more like the community read too much into it, and then the development of the game ended up being more like, we're gonna try and pile lore into this game because that's what the community wants, and the game ended up being like worse than it felt in early access. At least that's a general opinion that I heard about it. Was it because I definitely remember hearing a lot like the direction of the game felt like it spiraled after like a lot of lore and fairy crafting channels and Reddit like started digging way too deep into the game, like looking at like every little minute detail. I think it was like the same with like most of the games though, because that's like a general comment on FNAF as well, where there's like all these inconsistencies with like the start of the series and like later on when there's actual like underlying story that they're consciously trying to keep. Because obviously it wasn't supposed to be like, it was not meant to be an overnight viral hit. It was just meant to be a silly indie game. And they're trying to make like movies and TV series out of everything nowadays, so I wouldn't be that surprised. Let's just shift that back along a little bit. How do I feel about that? Left you a little bit. You know, you're trying to like make an unnecessary amount of lore. If you do it correctly, honestly, probably a TV series would do better than a movie. If you're trying to just make convoluted lore. I just never know how to feel about hacking lore that you want to tell for longer narrative into a movie when you also have to like consider the other aspects of making these kind of movies based on like, was it fan favorite indie games? Because then you also like, what was it, the it was like the Minecraft movie and like the FNAF movie, they all like piled in Easter eggs or something. You have to appease not just the lore hunters, you also have to appease the general audience of the franchise. I live with that. Alright, let's just see what kind of monstrosity I've created. I'm saying that like I watch the movies. I don't watch the movies. That is not swinging in enough. I mean, that's all the comments from like the people who've gone and watched the movies. Like, yeah, they've thrown all of these. Well, the ones that generally have like a good reception are the ones that like, yeah, like if you're a fan of the series, you would appreciate all of the things they put into the movie, or you get things like was it the Halo TV series where the production, a lot of the like management and production team of it bragged about how they never touched a Halo game before. Like you get like one of the two extremes and never anything in between. I was still surprised when I saw ads for was it the Borderlands movie with how beautiful of a flop that was. Actually, wait, what am I doing? I need you to reflect along the edge. Okay. No one blames you. That was horrific. I mean, just watching the ads that I'm presuming are showing some highlights of like the trailer is supposed to show you like the bits that make you want to watch the movie. That did not make me want to watch the movie. I mean, I know that was a Borderlands 3, like the newer game, also didn't have a lot of like the 2000 and like when was it when was Borderlands like 1 and 2 made? It was like ages ago, but and a 2012 humor. Was Borderlands 1 was what? No, I don't want the movie, I want the game. I don't care about the stupid movie. When was the game released? 2000. No, not the Game of the Year edition. When was Borderlands 1 released? No, like I don't want the Game of the Year edition. I want the original. God dang. 2009. Man, the humor was so much better back then when they didn't have to censor everything. Like I played through the second one and I played through the pre-sequel. I played through the pre-sequel with a friend and I made them suffer through Claptrap the whole time. That was actually a ton of fun thinking back on it. Hmm. I think this. This is supposed to be like a saucer, like round all the way around the head, but it still looks really weird when it sticks out much at this angle. I think I'm just gonna have to like pull it in, even though I don't know how I feel about that. Just see how that helps the transition between the keyframes feels. That was a lot of trial and error at this point. The main problem is that the bits on the visor aren't as round around the head as the other parts of the head, but because it has to follow the other head pieces, it needs to use the interpolation as well, which makes it look a little bit more weird. I also haven't separated the shadows, so I don't really have a good way of making it look like this is just sliding around the head. It's like this big round piece that goes behind the head as well, and to the side and around the head. Honestly, it's fine. Alright, let us miss Swerve. Where is face? Is somewhere in here. Face, you. Not you, you. Yes, right eye. Okay, so where is you? Do I need to separate the former for the eye open? Ideally, yes. Alright. Okay, let's go ahead and make open on everything here. I'll put a little bit onto the brow as well, so here, you don't need it, you need it, and you need it. I'm always surprised that I could get away with putting less shadow inside the with the eye white and moving it. Alright, so that you also need a open. Actually, should I do I could just stretch this down instead of bringing the line down. I don't favor. Would have been better if I had a second vertical line. That'll be fine. Alright, so you. Actually, let's just grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need not you, not you. I need I. Well, you are. Okay, so. All good. Have a good day. I'll bring this. Let me try and flatten a little bit more than I usually do. Do I have the mesh for this? Okay, I should have the mesh for this. I did the visions for this. Just bring this in just a tad. And I really need to increase the divisions here too. Hidden. I'll just go like that. Also, this piece might even be better by just glue it to the bottom of the eye white. Alright, like that. Hmm. Let's just go like that, that, and then go into here and you. Alright, okay. Where is you? And for you, I'll bring you down just a tad. Blah, 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 bum. Okay, then... where is you? Alright, let me just refill the water. Okay. Hmm. What's the best I go about this? Hello again, dude. You do something fun to get your account locked? Oh, how do I feel about it? That should be fine. Do I just bounce this right along to you? You shouldn't need to have this open. Alright, we're doing it like that. tell all of you to go to this, pop it cross. Oh, what? Not at the right. And but the former, please be in eyes. Then we want to go click. Then we pop this all into where's left? Left. Okay. Then match the parts and throw them into the appropriate parts. What are you? I should all be in order, so alright. Good old device switching. I always get told to use the seamless transfer between device feature that all of the modern phones have. I've never managed to get that to work. It just does not work. I mean, it might have had something to do with the fact that my previous phone was like, was it? I think it was 9 years old. I don't think I reached 10. I think it was like 9 years old. Yeah, my last phone was 9 years old, and it definitely did not cooperate when I was trying to transfer my account and all my data over to my new phone. Okay, so now both eyes should close. Let me just get the hair out of the way. Look at this. You. Down. That looks alright. Okay, then we want to go 1, 2, 3. Do I need to change anything else? Not in particular. I was talking about whether to run this off physics instead of running it off the Actually, wait. Do I? The best way to go about doing that is to use a blend shape to temporarily change the overall shape of the eye. Rather than using a flat parameter. Oh, okay. You can't scan QR codes. You would have been on a antique at this point, right? I don't know if my old phone could scan QR codes. I downloaded an app that could do it. All of this needs to change. To left open. So now the eyes are opening on different parameters here. Basically, it doesn't matter for my personal model because my camera is still looking at me from the side. What other things I need to add into here? I don't want to mess with the pupil or iris a little bit. Although I put this into a blend shape so that it is adjusted by physics instead, so that it follows the motion and bounces a little. I need to bounce it very small though. Alright, we'll make a open. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna follow on a blend shape. I don't actually need a new parameter. I could just run it straight off a blend shape. Okay, let's just run it straight off a blend shape. So, physics. I'm gonna go iris eye open. I think I should be going 1-to-1. Blend. Okay, so we're just gonna say that when this shrinks down, we are just going to give the edges of this light. Actually, wait. Oh, snapshot, still have a snapshot. Give this a slight squeeze from the sides without squeezing the corners. And then we want to inflate a little bit from the sides without inflating the corners. Maybe a bit more aggressive with this and just let physics handle not going too far. Oh, good. Here's a stopping by. Alright, we'll run that like that. Then we'll go into here. We'll give it a iris eye open. You're going rename, right? We're gonna say for the eye open, right? I sure hope so. We want to angle, max that out, go. I need to go 20 to 20, okay, go 10 to 10. See what happens if I go 10 to 10 for now. Single pendulum into eye open. Right. Okay, then we go single pendulum. Alright, let's just see what this is doing right now. Alright, shaking down by a lot. Okay, that feels good. Alright, then mess with the highlights a little bit. I merged the glow down, didn't I? I totally did. Okay, what happens if I start turning this down? I should not have merged it down. Let's just separate it and then go through again. It's not really a noticeable thing when I turn the glow off most of the time anyway, from a respectable distance. Ba-ba-ba-bum. What do I want to do with this? What's the best approach of this? Just be want to blend that in. There's a bit of a create a chain reaction here, actually. See if I can make it do a chain reaction. We'll go positive out and negative in. And can I attach this to the iris motion? We want to go highlight, open R. We want to, let's just see what happens if I attach it to, reflect, go one single pendulum into okay, what does this do if I do it like this? How about we increase the duration but decrease the shaking a bit more? That's not what the you know that. What happens if I attach it to the angle? Just follows it. Yes. Okay. Then. Hmm. Wait, these actually change. Oh, they did. It makes more sense now, even though I can't read it because it's squashed into the box. Wanted to converge slower, so does that increase or decrease? Is that faster or slower? Want this to be... No way. Want this to be lower. That kind of floats in, a little bit floaty. Okay, I'll go with that. Then we want to do go. Do we need a second? Can I blend this using only 1 point? Or that does not allow me to do that? Okay, How does this actually need to work? Ideally, it'll be two separate parameters. One that returns slower, but should return quickly when it does. So just swing out, and then take a while to move back in, but when it does, it's just a one smooth transition. And we calculate that using more eye open. Ideally. How does that actually work? Because you only want it to happen when the actually don't know how to do that. Okay, so for now, we'll just shift the... Oh, wait. Is it better if I just shift the warp deformers along again? So that would just, just need to throw it across the other side after everything's done in one eye. That's probably smarter. Okay, we'll actually just finish up here because I'm not really doing anything while I'm thinking. Either way, the bits that are left to be done here on the head specifically is the remainder of any physics I'm going to attach to the eyes, and then the hair physics needs to be added in. Thinking of doing the hair physics a little differently, so probably dedicate a whole stream to doing that if I don't end up doing it over the weekend, but I just need to have a think about exactly how to do the... was it? The big eye open shock reaction physics to the eye. Because you only want it to occur when the eye open exceeds a certain point. I have some ideas of how it might work, but I need to think it over. I probably need to do a bunch of testing. And since I'm not really doing anything right now... oh, YouTube algorithm definitely won't like this. Alright, so anyways, thank you very much for watching today's session of Live 3D rigging. For all intents and purposes, the head is fully in motion. Looks really blocky right now because there's no physics. And I aim to fix that. Once there's some things that are flowing as well, it'll, one, make it look a little less rigid, and two, hide some imperfections. just by making everything look a little bit more busy. And then, once that's all done, it is time to start moving down the body and actually doing the remainder of everything else, which is not got folders yet, but it's a lot. So if you want to see more of this continuing yet again, remember to be subscribed or followed, depending where you're watching from. Leave a like because it helps me out, and I'll see you all again next time.